The situation of the Ukrainian army continues to deteriorate rapidly in the Kursk region and other directions of the front. Against this backdrop, the Russian armed forces continue to launch massive missile strikes on the territory of Ukraine almost every day. With these massive missile attacks, Russia is not only disrupting enemy logistics, but also significantly reducing the combat potential of the Ukrainian army and NATO forces. By the way, today was also no exception in terms of massive Russian missile attacks on the territory of Ukraine. So, on the night of September 22, Russia launched a series of powerful missile strikes against military targets in the Kyiv, Khmelnytsky, Vinnytsia, and Dnipropetrovsk regions. It is reliably known that on the night of September 22, about 30 powerful explosions were recorded in these regions of Ukraine. So, in the Kyiv region, independent monitoring services recorded at least 3 explosions in the region's administrative center. It is reported that the so-called decision-making centers have become the main target of Russian missiles. According to sources in the Russian military department, as a result of this missile attack, it was possible to destroy about 10 high-ranking Ukrainian army officers, who were directly involved in the planning and supervision of the military operation of the armed forces of Ukraine in the Kursk region. In the Khmelnytsky region, Russian ballistic missiles and kamikaze drones once again hit a military airbase in the city of Starokostiantynov. According to witnesses, at least 4 explosions were recorded on the territory of this airbase. In the Vinnytsia region, Russian kamikaze drones destroyed a radar station for detecting and tracking low-altitude targets, 3066. In the Dnipropetrovsk region, in the city of Pavlograd, Russian Iskander-M ballistic missiles hit the territory of a local chemical plant. It is reported that this plant worked for the needs of the Ukrainian army, producing adjusted ammunition for Neptune anti-ship missiles, Alka multiple launch rocket systems, and Grum-2 ballistic missiles. Meanwhile, over the past 24 hours, Russian troops have taken full control of 2 more strategically important settlements in the Special Military Operations Zone. In particular, we are talking about such settlements as Nevskoy, in the western part of the Luhansk People's Republic, and Nelipovka, in the Toretsk direction of the front. At the same time, it is worth noting that after the liberation of the village of Nelipovka, in the Toretsk direction of the front, Russian troops developed their success and entered the settlement of Leonidovka on the move. According to war correspondents, Russian troops managed not only to gain a foothold in this village, but also to take control of 40% of the territory of this strategically important settlement. It is reported that in the last 24 hours alone, the Ukrainian army has lost 600 soldiers and 20 units of heavy equipment in the Toretsk direction of the front. As for the Kursk direction of the front, the commander of Spetsnaz Akhmat, General Apty Alatinov, said that Russian combat aviation had begun a massive bombing of the positions of the Ukrainian army. According to him, at the moment, there is thick smoke along the entire combat contact line in the Kursk region, due to the ongoing bombing of the positions of the Ukrainian army. Against this backdrop, General Apty Alatinov confirmed that 70 fighters of the elite unit of the Ukrainian army voluntarily left their positions and fled to the Sumy region. According to him, the Ukrainian High Military Command tried to persuade them to return to their positions. However, these fighters categorically refused, calling it suicide. General Apty Alatinov also said that over the past 24 hours, the Ukrainian army has lost 400 soldiers, 10 armored combat vehicles, 3 tanks, 5 artillery pieces, 2 electronic warfare stations, 20 pickups, and 2 mine clearance engineering vehicles in the Kursk region. The total losses of the Ukrainian army in manpower in the Kursk direction of the front have already exceeded 15,000 soldiers. Surprisingly, even pro-Ukrainian Western analytical centers have begun to recognize that the military operation of the armed forces of Ukraine in the Kursk region is close to complete failure. For example, Western military experts from the Center for Eastern Studies and the Institute for the Study of War bluntly stated that within a few days after the start of the Russian army's counteroffensive in the Kursk region, Russian troops managed to retake 20% of the territory from the armed forces of Ukraine. At the same time, these Western military experts noted that despite all attempts by the Ukrainian army to continue the offensive to the west of the Lech in the Kursk region, Ukrainian troops have not been able to achieve even minimal success. According to them, in 12 days of fighting, the Russian army managed to deliver a crushing blow to the Ukrainian army's entire left flank in the Koronevsky district of the Kursk region, as a result of which the Ukrainian army units were pushed back 3 kilometers east of the village of Koronivo. Meanwhile, amid the outright failures of the armed forces of Ukraine on the battlefield, the head of the Kiev regime, Vladimir Zelensky, officially announced that Ukraine is preparing for negotiations with Russia in order to put an end to the ongoing war. According to him, Ukraine and the West want to see Russia at the Second Peace Summit, where, as he claims, this bloody war will come to an end. However, Russia's response has already disappointed the Kiev regime and its masters in Washington. In particular, the official representative of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Russian Federation, Maria Zakharova, bluntly stated that Ukraine and the West should not wait for Russian representatives at the so-called Second Peace Summit. According to her, Moscow does not negotiate with terrorists. At the same time, Maria Zakharova noted that peace talks with Kiev will take place only on Moscow's terms. According to her, the ongoing war can stop only if the Ukrainian army voluntarily withdraws its troops from the territory of Kherson, Donetsk, Zaporizhia, and Kursk regions. I am officially declaring that Russia will not participate in the so-called peace summit. This so-called peace summit is a manifestation of fraud on the part of the Anglo-Saxons and their Ukrainian puppets. The West and Kiev only need war. This is confirmed by the terrorist invasion of the Ukrainian army in the Kursk region, and the desire of the Kiev regime to strike inside Russia with the help of long-range Western missiles. All this is a real terror against the civilian population of Russia. I must make one thing perfectly clear: Russia will never negotiate with terrorists, Maria Zakharova said.